All right, guys, let's take a look now at question number 5. It says over here, simplify 0.973 plus 4.53 divided by 0.02. Okay, so I rewrote the problem over here. Please take note. I remember the first time I did this problem. This is a plus. This is a division sign. So please take note of that. Okay, so how do we go about doing this? How do we approach this problem? Well, you should be thinking about the acronym PEMDAS. And what does PEMDAS stand for? Why do we talk about PEMDAS? PEMDAS is all about order of operations, okay? So it tells you the correct order of solving problems. So first you should deal with parentheses, then you should deal with exponents. Then you actually, let me do this. You can actually multiply and divide in any order you want to, and you can also add and subtract in any order you want to, okay? But you must deal with parentheses first. You must then deal with exponents. You must either multiply and divide, and then finally you add or you subtract. Okay, if you don't follow this order, you can miss problems. And this is a classic example of the situation. So when I look at this, I actually have to attack these two first, okay? Because the division comes before addition, okay? So how do I attack 4.53 divided by 0.02? Well, if you watch the video for division in question 4, I mentioned two different ways of dividing. I mentioned that you can do the way that I solved the problem, I did long division. But we can also rewrite this as 4.53 over 0.02 and manipulate the decimal places and try to simplify it that way. And I'm actually going to try this, see if this does anything here. Well, I take that back. I'm going to look here because this ends in a 3 and this ends with a 2. That's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good idea. Okay, so I take that back. Sorry about that. Don't want to approach it that way. I'm actually going to approach it long division. So we're going to do 4.53 divided by 0.02. Now, if you do not like these decimals, I can move my decimal place back 2 here and 2 here and rewrite the problem as simply 453 divided by 2, okay? And if we rewrite it the original way that I had written before, the reason why this is completely legit is that if I multiply top and bottom by 100, and this is okay because I'm actually just multiplying this equation by 1, I end up getting 453 over 2. Remember, when you multiply by 100, you move the decimal place back 2. All right, back 2. So it gives me that value, which is here. So I'm going to do that because it's just easier to work with that than the decimal. Not that much more simpler, but it is simpler. Okay, so we're going to approach it. So how many times does 2 go into 4? 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. 5. How many times does 2 go into 5? I can bring it down 53 if I want to, but I'm going to leave 5. How many times does 2 go into 5? 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Get 1, bring down to 3. So the 5 brought down here, the 3 brought down here. And then I ask myself, how many times does 2 go into 13? It goes in 6 times. I'm going to have to keep going, so I'm going to put a 0.0. This is 12. Bring the 0 down. How many times does 2 go into 10? It goes in 5 times. Okay? So this, it seems kind of strange that it may seem kind of strange that when you do 453 divided by 4.53 divided by 0.02, you end up getting this huge number. But, by the way, this is 0.5 because there's a decimal here. There has to be a decimal here. That may seem strange, but if we look at 453 divided by 2, it makes sense that this roughly gets me 200 and something, right? 400 divided by 2 would be 200, so 453 divided by 2 is going to give me something close. Actually, if you think about it, 450 divided by 2, 400 divided by 2 is 200, 50 divided by 2 would be 25, and so that roughly matches. I bring that up also so that when you're approaching these problems, you need to constantly be asking yourself, do these numbers make sense? Okay, and they do. So all of this becomes 226.5, and then I have plus 0.973, okay? So all of this became this, right? And then I'm going to approach. So let me segment that off. Okay, so how do I approach this? Well, I'm just going to rewrite this vertically, 226.5 plus 0.973, okay? And so what do I need to do here? So very important to watch those decimals. What do I need to do here? I need to include some zeros, so let's put some zeros in here. Let's get some zero action going on. So put 0 and 0. And then I'm just going to add. So 0 plus 3 is 3. 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 plus 9 is 14. Decimal, decimal. Don't forget to carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. And there we have it. And that's my answer. Okay? So just remember in the beginning, you got to divide before you start adding. But it will give you the correct answer if you follow that process. And in case you're curious, look here, we're talking about number 5. And number 5 is 227.473. Okay, so hopefully that was clear. That makes sense. And I will see you in the next video.